Working. How's it going, guys? Angus here from Maker's Muse, coming at you with another stream. Brand new microphone. It's going to have a little bit more room noise, but I'm hoping it's louder and clearer than the previous one. It's an experiment. These streams are an ongoing, changing experiment, and hopefully it works out. Thank you so much for joining, guys. We got Dorian from Croatia. Welcome. Andrew, JT in the chat doing his moderating duty. 3DP Iceland, Patrick, Arduino Makes, Make and Modify, Christian, Jan, Kitty Grim, Bush Left. Wellbot, thank you so much for joining, guys. So this is part 2 of the Prusa MK3. Crank up the mic, it's already pretty close to max. Alright, give me a second. Output gain. How's that? If I crank it up much more, it might start clipping. This is not a pajama top, this is my Stingray t-shirt. So thanks to your donations, guys. As I always said in previous streams, there's a link in the description. And thanks to your donations, I was able to purchase this new microphone. It will be used in other streams in different rooms, like more for the talk show format. But I'm going to give it a shot here because the lavalier mic restricts my movement. And although this is a stationary mic and you might not be able to hear me too well if I'm facing away, I'm mostly facing this way, and it's just an easier setup. I'm a bit more fluid. So it's the Rode, I've forgotten what type it is exactly, N2 USB, I believe it's called. It was actually on sale for JB Hi-Fi, NT USB. It was on sale at JB Hi-Fi for 165 Australian dollars, which is like the best I've ever seen in Australia. So I grabbed it, and I'm really quite happy with it. All right, excellent. Yeah, so there will be room noise, but it's a workshop, you know, it's how it is. So, if you joined me in the previous stream, you would have seen us assemble this microphone here. Sorry, this printer here. This is the Prusa MK3, and I've been testing an assembled machine, but this one is the one we've been putting together as a kit. And we got up to assembling all the frame here. So I'm going to be careful not to bump the table too much because the microphone's on it. But essentially, this is how far we got, and the process of doing this was actually not too difficult. There was a few aspects that were a bit tricky, like doing the tensioning for the X belt. I found it a bit challenging. But apart from that, it went together really easily, and thanks to you guys who picked up a few small things that errors I was making, yeah, it was really good. So today, we're going to tackle the extruder, which is the most difficult part, or maybe apart from wiring, most tedious part of assembling a Prusa MK3. Okay, so the audio and its level are very good now. Excellent. Jan, do I have an XLR input from the audio? No, I do not. This is a laptop, and it only has USB ports. I use an XLR for my main setup upstairs in the studio. When you see me do those, like I did the recent Kickstarter video, that's with a proper microphone with phantom power, and that's why it sounds so good. And I'm a bit of an audiophile, so I want to have that set up here, but I can't because it's just a crappy laptop. It's just how it is. Stick the mic on a boom above your head. Yep, I will do that once I have a boom, which I do not have. But yeah, I'll do something like that once I get a chance. Small changes. We're making progress. Thank you for joining me along on this ride. This is a rental, so I can do very little to the room. It's just how it is. Until I purchase a house, I can't do much. So we're going to start doing the extruder axis assembly. Don't electrocute myself. Yeah. If you haven't seen that update video, please go check it out. It turned out it was a floating ground, and these machines make that voltage normally because of the filtering capacitors in them. So I did the update, and thanks to some people in the comments and in the community, we figured out what it was. Grab a USB sound card. Nah, there's not enough USB ports. There's too many issues. Tom used power tools on his build. I'm not going to use power tools, but I'm going to use some additional tools to the kit because it only comes with a few small things. Yeah. Boom mics are cheap on Amazon. I'm not sure if you guys realize we don't have Amazon. Amazon doesn't work in Australia. We can only get books. They're rolling it out, but we don't get everything you see on Amazon. We don't have it. We don't have access to it. It's the other side of the world. Alright. So, I'm going to start grabbing the parts. So here's parts for the extruder. Am I a flat earther? I absolutely am a flat earther for sure. I mean, it's not like I've flown on a plane and seen the curvature of the earth or anything and flown 15 hours to get to the US or anything. No, the world's flat, for sure. No. I'm sorry. Hang up some paintings with towels behind it for dampening the echoes. There's nowhere to hang anything. Behind me, it's just a blank wall with nothing on it. There's no hooks or anything. I might have to stick some double-sided tape foam up there. That's the best I can do. Mickey Man Mike, so you can't order things and have them delivered within hours. No, to get stuff from Amazon for us it takes like 2 weeks and it's really expensive. Okay. Table is not heavy enough, yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Okay. So... the Prusa MK3 extruder is very different to any other extruder I've assembled before. Because, for a start, it has this. So it has a genuine Noctua fan, which you might normally see in computers. But it's extremely quiet, so it helps keep this machine quiet. I'll take a look at mic stands after the stream, but I'm sure I can get them on eBay. That's probably the easiest way to get them. I've got the blower fan. These ones traditionally make quite a bit of noise when they're at full speed, but they move a lot of air to cool your part, which is absolutely critical. And then we've got the I believe it's an E3D with the PTFE down to the heat break, and then it's all metal. So it's a bit of a combination from previous designs. There's no PTFE all the way into the nozzle. It just stops there, a heat break. Genuine E3D, cannot complain about the quality of these. They're made very well. Do they still not have the black ones? No, well not in my case. They still have the brown ones. This was a very early batch. I got one of the first off the production line, so they might have changed to black now. Right, induction probe. Let's take a look at this. So this is what makes the magic of the Prusa MK3. It does the bed leveling with the mesh bed leveling, and it has the induction probe. When we get to the stage of actually making this offset correctly, I was watching Tom's stream, and people in the chat were saying to use a credit card to figure out the height. I think you guys are massive trolls if you're saying that, because not only would everyone see the credit card, I'm pretty sure you'd wipe it through the magnets as well, which is hilarious. And then we have this little doohickey, which is the optical sensor. So this one is what detects the filament path and figures out if the filament's actually moving or if it's jammed or any issues. It's a very nice custom little part. Very cool. Okay, I put them back in there for now because I don't want to get any dirt on it. Some more cables. Alright, that's part of it. And then we have, what is this? Nope, don't want that one yet. So I just need to find the injection, sorry, not the injection molded, the 3D printed components. Can I say if it's PNP or NPN? I do not remember how to determine which is which. I'll be honest, it's been a very long time since I've worked with electronics. Okay. So here we have the extruder parts. Animation crashes. Why not re-upload Tom's stream? Well, people are asking in Tom's stream why you do it live. And it's a very good point because, I mean, I could upload a very strictly edited, short build I could time-lapse it. But I guess the whole live aspect of this isn't really just to see me make a machine. It's really just to interact with you guys. And, you know, the machine is kind of the byproduct. So I guess that's why I like to stream. And that's why I split it off to a different channel. Because people who are watching it on the main channel were like, this isn't normal Angus content. Well, you know, it's not nicely edited. There's no B-roll. And it would cause confusion when it was mixed in by YouTube to the other content. So that's why I started this channel, and that's why I like doing live stuff. I love hanging out with you guys and actually reading your comments. And it's good because actually this is a manageable amount of comments, unlike the other streams I used to do, which would be like toxic, super fast. Luke is making a clone and curious about Luke is making a clone for the filament sensor? Okay. I'll see you when I find out later. Cool. Hopefully the internet is quite stable on my end. So these are the parts. I'll put them aside for now. Sorry, lots of talking, not much action. So we've got this part, and we need to do the idler assembly. So I need to get pulley bearings. Oh, there's little bearings. That's pretty cool. I'll have to show you when I find them. So everything got chucked into the same box. There we go. That's the extruder access screws. There it is. You can tell I'm super prepared for this stream as well. What? Oh, there it is. Alright. Sorry for wasting your time. Okay. So what I'm noticing is there's actually little roller bearings for the oh, don't lose that PTFE. Little roller bearings for the actual extruder, which is nice. Little tiny roller bearing. There's only one in here. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. So little tiny rollers. Yep, I will move the printer down while I build up the extruder. It's a good idea. Gives me a bit more space to work and show you things. Okay. Okay, so we need this part. And there are two bearings. There's only one bearing in this packet. Unless I've missed something. There's only one bearing in this packet. There's two gears. Is it meant to be two gears? Or is it meant to be two bearings? Can someone with a Mark III pretty please confirm if you got sent two gears or I'm meant to have another bearing? It's inside one of the gears. Oh, it is inside one of the gears. Thank you so much for that. That's hilarious. Crisis averted. Alright. Yeah, okay. That's right, it's like a Bond textile, isn't it? Got it. Okay. Or is it? I don't remember. It's been an interesting few days, I'll be honest. Okay. So I'm just going to grab a little tray. Again, good practice to make sure you don't lose any parts. and we've got our little square nuts. Now, making a lot of progress in this like longest section of the book. Does the Prusa manual have a bill of materials? I don't know, actually. Not like it just goes along. Doesn't really have a bill of materials at the start anyway. Okay, so we're going to get these nuts and put them in. Oh, okay. So they're actually the Bondtech gears. Good to confirm. I thought so, but there's so much going on. I can't really keep my thoughts straight and remember what was what. There's so many printers now. Okay, fill this in. yeah, okay, I get it. It is actually a Bondtech. Got it. Don't have this though. This is not going in. Come on. Some of these slots are a bit tighter than I would like. Okay, and that is not lined up, so I need to force it through. It's good. Come on, this one's very tight. This is the problem with 3D printing parts. I mean, you can get away with it, but the tolerances will be nowhere near as high as injection molding. So in this case, this one's very tight. And it's probably just because of a few extra layers, few sort of wisps of filament that didn't quite land in the right place. Tilt the camera down. Okay, tilt the camera down. Let's try that. How's that? Yeah, maybe. Make sure my phone doesn't go off because everyone likes to contact me. I don't have any notifications rolling as well. I do apologize. Okay, so we're gonna get the Bondtech gear. Oh, and the bearing is actually meant to stay in it, which is cool. Okay, in it goes. And then we get our little cover. And like that. So I do appreciate that Joseph made it A4 size. It makes it just a lot easier to use. I know I could go on the website, but just while you're streaming and things, it's easier to do this with paper. And it's just nicer, to be honest. It's like, it brings back memories. Oh, both bearings. Okay, and the other one. Got it. Okay, both bearings are in. And we'll push this down. Not as much latency on this stream. Yeah, it's all up to YouTube doing whatever they do. It's a bit random, to be honest. Okay. How's that looking? A little bit tight, I'll be honest. It'll free up for sure. It's just the plastic's a bit tight on it. Okay, that's pretty good to me. Right, one idler. Yeah, fun fact, guys, I never answer my phone. So even people who have my number, if they call me, I will not answer, purely because I do not have time, and unfortunately in the past, to field like a half an hour phone call. If you want to contact me, send an email. That's the only way I'll respond. I just literally don't have time for phone calls. I will only answer friends and family, and that's just how it is. So yeah. Some people get upset by that, but it's just what it is. And if you want to get in touch, send an email through sales@makersmuse. Again, I can't guarantee I'll reply because I get hundreds of emails, but it's just how I have to work being a sole individual with this kind of viewership. Don't need that yet. It's just how it is. Okay. Try getting recruiters to do that. Yeah, you need to pay recruiters though, and there's not enough money to pay them. It's the catch, isn't it? Like, how do you scale up a business when you need to make it financially stable, viable? It's tricky. I'm working on it, but we'll see. Okay, so we've got our little encoder. We need the M3 times 10s, so we just need one of those. And we need the M3 nuts. These are just normal ones. Normal ones. Uh, 3D Gusner. Oh, don't worry, dude. The bearings are sorted now. Mickey Man might get Truecaller for your phone. I haven't actually heard of that, but that's a good idea. I've been getting a lot of not prank calls, scammers trying to call recently. And I don't know. Someone's probably leaked my number somewhere, but it doesn't matter because I don't answer anyway, and they just hang up, and it's always on silent. Okay, so we've got our block. We need to put in the nuts. So again, this is all 3D printed, which is beneficial for what Joseph does, because then you can make tweaks. So there is benefits to 3D printing your components. Oh, this holds quite loose, so we'll see how we go with that. Yeah, I'm not touching the sensor, don't worry. Just touching the sides of it. I have worked with PCBs enough to know not to touch the main areas of it. Hey, we've got Hi Angus in the chat. Welcome. Okay, let's put it there gently. Okay. Alright, so we've got our sensor. And that slides in. Go up by the pins. There we go. Other parts, ABS or PETG? I think they're ABS. Although Tom's stream reported that he thought some of them were PETG as well. But I mean, that looks like PETG. It's really shiny. Yeah, I don't know. I think some of them are actually PETG and some of them are ABS. That's just a guess. Right, so we've got that in there. Pins are sticking up. And then we're going to take the M3x10 and tighten it into the hole. Gently, very gently. Okay. This is just an electrical component. It doesn't have any load on it. It does not need to be overly torqued by any means. It just needs to be gently put in place. That's squeaking. That tells me it might be PETG. Right, is that tight? Not yet. Perfecto. All right, we're good. You see how quickly you smash through the manual though. It's it goes pretty quick. Yeah. Okay. So now we're up to the assembly of the idler to the main extruder body. So I'll just put this bad boy over there. And we're going to grab our idler and M3x30s, which would be, which ones are they? That's too short. So that would be these ones. I only need one of them anyway. And M3 transparent washers. So little nylon washers. I need some breakfast juice. Okay. So I guess assembling this thing, it really is actually quite fun. Depending on the printer and the brand, assembling 3D printed kits can be disastrously difficult and really just not fun at all, to be honest. But this is actually quite fun. So I was putting the Tronxy X1 together, to be honest. That was quite a good experience. Let's make sure that's the right way. Yeah, it looks fine. But yeah, this is actually going together pretty well. Right, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Turn the extruder body like the picture. The pins must be facing to the right. Insert the M3x30 screw into the slot. It's this one here. Assemble the idler on the M3x30 screw, which is here. Finish the assembly with a second washer. Second washer. Okay. Like that. Yeah, I'm not sure why they put like the washers on top of the idler in the picture. It's very, very confusing. Okay, I guess that just sits like that then. Why did it give me two washers? Where's the other one go? Oh, between it. Okay. So the other one goes there. I guess that makes sense. Okay, we've got that good to go. So we've got our washers in place. Oh no, don't lose the washer. Okay, put them over there. James Robertson, how does PETG print without an enclosure? It prints fine. You just need to make sure the bed surface is correct for PETG. You do need some heat, not too much though, but no, it doesn't warp at all as much as ABS. It will warp a little bit sometimes, depending on the brand, in my experience, but yeah, you'd be fine, absolutely. Yeah, so Joe said he couldn't make it, but we got Joseph's brother. Welcome. Alright, step 11, assembling the extruder motor pulley. So we're going to need our extruder motor, which are nicely marked. So we've got our extruder motor, which is actually laser marked extruder, very handy. And we're going to get our second gear, this one here, and put him on. So make sure it's the right direction. Oh no, I've used the wrong one. Okay, my bad. I put the idler one on here, which has the set screw. So I just assumed they both had set screws just because they're mass produced, but they're not. So let me just change this quickly while I read your comments. Come on, come out. Okay. So don't mix your gears up. Don't do what Angus does. I need just a small Allen key. It's the multitasking, guys. I swear I'm not like this normally. It's just when you're doing like, you're looking at the stream and you're trying to figure out where stuff is. It's just how it is. But thank you for everyone who mentioned it before and I didn't see it. I know you would have done it. Why not do the builds in my mini makerspace project? Because that is currently not fully set up since I've moved. And the issue with the mini makerspace is it's not really designed for streaming. The streaming takes up tons of space. I mean, I've got lights and cameras and things, and it just makes it difficult, unfortunately. But I will be revisiting that project for sure. There we go. Okay, we're back in business. How am I liking the larger workspace? Very much so, but I've already kind of run out of space. I have so much stuff, and like to set up a proper workshop, you just use all this bench space, and it just, you run out of space so quick. So it's good, and I will make use of it, but I'm already starting to run out of space. Okay, we're back in business with our little set screw debacle. Put them on here. I'm not going to tighten up completely, just a little bit. So leave it at the very top of the shaft as in the picture, that's fine. So I'm not going to fully tighten it up yet. Just going to leave it there. Okay. That looks fine to me. Make sure the shaft on the bearing is supported on both sides and it turns freely as mentioned in the manual. Spins perfectly, Michael. Don't worry. I did check that before, but it was with the wrong one. Okay, mounting the extruder motor. So now we're going to get two M3x30s. M3s by 30. These, that's not the right one. There you go, M3x30. I've been building stuff so long I know how long things are. And we're going to insert them into the back of the block, just in here. All right, and we're going to get our motor, this bad boy, and judging from the photos, it goes like this and like that. Okay, looks good to me. Okay, try to read some more comments, guys. Yeah, there is never enough space. You will always run out of space. It's just the universal law, especially if you're a maker. You have projects from like 10 years ago that you're like, I might need it one day. I do appreciate the help, Michael. People talking about PETG. Yeah, okay, I think I'm caught up. Good, Josh. Should I spend $200 on a college textbook or a printer? Can you get the textbook for free? If you can get it for free, then get the printer. But usually what they do in college is it's a big scam, actually. They'll update the versions and you need to have the most up-to-date version. Depending on what you're in, like if you're in a design field like I was, it doesn't matter. But if you're in like a medical field, it does. Oh no, I've lost one of my... No! I've lost the washer. That's alright, I can just put that in gently here. There we go. So yeah, I would buy a printer if you can get the book for free, but unfortunately, depending on your field, you probably can't, and you probably need it to pass the course. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's a cool design, I will say. I do like the Bondtech design. You guys see there, the dual gears, very funky. Um, 3D Gustner complementing the filament sensor. I'm yet to test it out actually. I haven't even tried running out filament on the other Prusa MK3. Not yet anyway. Okay. So where is the Alright, so I've only put 3 screws in so far. So I'm assuming the other screw is going to be for something else. Open the idler fully to have direct access to the pulley. Use a piece of filament to align the pulley to the openings and adjust it and tighten with an Allen key. Okay, that's pretty easy. So let's grab some filament. So much filament, where do I begin? Alright, let's go this. Lord Garth saying the Bondtech gears on the forum have rusting or wearing problems. Interesting. I'll keep an eye on it actually. If they are just raw steel, they might actually have wear issues, but we'll see. Okay, let's see if I can get this to line up nicely. Come on. Go this way then. Okay. Just gonna run this back a couple of times. Make sure it's all lined up, and then I'm gonna get my Allen key. Make sure it's all good. Okay, it's good. And tighten it up. So that's just aligning the contact path to make sure it has proper optimum grip, which it does. Excellent. Too easy. Red Bull fridge. I would love a Red Bull fridge. I think that would be the best thing to have in a set. It'd be pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. Although I'm kind of off the sugary drinks. This is a sugar-free energy drink. Alrighty. So we're good. Alright, we're up to set 15 already. Smashing through it. Okay, securing the extruder idler. So to do this, we're going to need M3x40s, which are the much longer ones. Yeah, one of those ones. Need the extruder springs, which will provide our tension. And we need, it's going to roll away. And so we're going to get our extruder like so, and then put the springs on the screws and just put them in the hole. That's quite a clever way of doing it actually. That's quite, actually I'm quite impressed by that. That's quite compact and an easy way to adjust tension too. Juice Box Airsoft. Have you had any issues with Prusa filament? My i3 is not a fan of the included filament. I don't know. The filament that I've used so far in the Prusa MK3 has a bit of a stringing issue, I guess. So let me show you actually. Just leave that for now. So this is filament. These both are actually, and this is the lattice, the snowflake lattice that I printed on the Prusa MK3, and it completed. It had a few issues though. This is in the slicer settings, so default slicer 0.15, and see, it's just a bit. It's really stringing actually. So I'm not sure what's causing that. Whereas this one is on the what's it called? The Cetus Mark II. Same filament, sort of settings. I mean, it's a different slicer, but you can see, got to hold them lower, sorry. You can see the difference between the two. So, this one's stringy, and this is the Cetus one, which is pretty much flawless. It is slightly smaller. I had to scale them down because it wouldn't fit at full size on the Cetus, but no stringing. So I think that's either the filament or the settings on the Mark III need to be tweaked a little bit to just get rid of that stringing. So it could be filament though, but that's filamentum. Okay, JT's saying his had stringing too. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind with the Mark III. It is a new machine, so there's probably some tweaks that need to be done. But there is a little bit of stringing going on. Alright, so now we have two M3 square nuts, which do have lovely rounded corners. Not all square nuts are made the same, so these ones have rounded corners. I've worked with printers before that have like really sharp corners, because they've been stamped out poorly, and that makes assembling really difficult, whereas this is going to be easier because they're rounded on the corners, they slide in nicely. Yep, and we'll put this one in too. There we go, so just two little square nuts. Align them with our Allen key, which it says to do in the instructions, so very, very well done there. Try the lattice cube with a 3D printing pen. That would be a disaster. I have no artistic skill. Why do you think I got into 3D printing in the first place? I can barely write my name legibly, let alone artistically build a lattice cube. Alright. So we've got that piece done. It's coming together nicely. Alright, we need our extruder cover. So we have this piece. We have one square nut and one normal nut. And we have one 25mm screw. So that would be the one that was slightly shorter than all the others. That one. Be the one that's 1 inch long. Okay, and then we're going to put them into the part. Can I make the chat background a little darker? It's hard to read right now. I cannot, unfortunately, not till I restart the stream. So, yeah, sorry guys, I can't change it. It'll be easier once I move the camera up slightly. You can just read the chat on the side as well. Making the streams work in the first place is hard enough, let alone changing them mid-stream. Okay, so we've got some nuts, put them in. And this is a really good way to use 3D printed parts, because if you don't have these little inserts, you're going to be trying to tap like M3s into plastic, and that's just terrible. Like I mentioned in my JG Aurora A5, they had printed parts with M3 tap screws. But people have told me that that machine now has injection molded parts where the 3D printed parts were, which makes sense. That's usually how it goes. They upgrade them without telling anyone. So my machine actually had printed parts, whereas now they're injection molded in the JG Aurora A5. Okay, extruder. So there should be 2 of these screws, which there is. So we've got those 2. Okay, I'm going to get our extruder and put it into place. So, if everything's been made correctly, this should be pretty easy. So we should be able to just put it in like that. Snaps into place. Make sure that the cables are the right direction. Push the hot end into the extruder body. Be careful of orientation. So the orientation should be like so. Cool. Just like that. Piece of cardboard to make the chat more readable. I can put the heat bed where the chat is, maybe. I don't know if that's going to help. No, it doesn't. Maybe. It's the best I can do, guys. It's the best I can do. Dave C, is it better to buy assembled or unassembled? I don't know. Like, you have to really enjoy putting things together. Even though this kit's pretty good in terms of ease of use, it's still taking me many hours to do. And if you're doing it by yourself, you might be quicker. But then again, you might be slow because you might not have experience. So, honestly, if you're just getting to 3D printing and you want to print as a tool, not a hobby, I usually recommend ready-to-run machines just to get you going quicker. But yeah, if otherwise, if you feel you have the patience to put together a machine, then get a kit. The price difference is quite substantial, actually. Okay, so we've got our extruder like this. Got to cover and place it on the extruder body, like that. Like that. And then we've got 2 screws. All right. Yeah, I need someone to take over the cinematography side of Maker's Muse. Let's be honest, I never learned how to do it. It's just I've had to figure it out as I go along. And I don't really enjoy it. I just want to get things going so I can show my experiences. So yeah, maybe one day when the channel's actually self-supporting to the point where I can hire someone, there'll be proper sets where everything's run and there's someone managing and monitoring the audio. One day. One day. The electronics are taking longer than the physical construct. Yeah, basically. Why isn't that? Oh, the nut fell out. Herp, derp, derp. Yeah, it takes a lot longer to actually do this part than it does to construct the main frame. The main frame goes together pretty quickly. Come on, get the nut in. Why must you be so fiddly? Use one of these to push the head of the screw down. Dave C, have I thought about using green screens again? I don't really have anywhere to hang them. And, oh, come on. Lighting's critical for green screens, and the lighting here is one LED floodlight over there. This is tedious. Why aren't you working? If the nuts aren't perfectly aligned, they just don't start threading, and it's super tedious. Okay, get out. Go. Alright, so get the nut. Push it down into the part. Yeah, that's fine. Now unscrew it. Getting this one's really tricky. It just doesn't want to mate up. Why? There we go. Maybe. No. It is not working, guys. It is refusing to go in. There we go. Had to give it a bit of a rough treatment. Squeak. All right. Do I have a silicon sock for the hot end? I do not appear to have a silicon sock for the hot end. No. I don't know if they still do them. The Mark III I have doesn't have it. Nope. No, I don't know if they're still doing that. Hey, Adam Ohms just subscribed. I just realized I haven't been monitoring the alerts. So sorry if you guys donated, I might not have seen it. I will get that going. Streamlabs. Bree loves my shirt. Thanks, thank you. That's one of my favorite shirts, actually. Okay, just checking Streamlabs to make sure I haven't missed anything, guys. But while that's loading, this looks pretty much done. There's a few extra things to do, like the cooling fan and the mount, but that came together pretty easily. The wiring is going to be another story, though. Golf Cabrio. What do you do with all my 3D prints? Do I put them in a house or have rented storage for them? I'll be honest, a lot of them get thrown away. I have to print so much stuff to test printers that they're like, there's no point keeping them. I give them away when I can, but if the print quality is not very good, no one wants them. So a lot of them get chucked away because in Australia we have no recycling system for 3D printing, which sucks. That happens, unfortunately. Oh, I did miss a donation. Old Salty RC, here's a donation for your new computer for the shop. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I'm just going to turn sound on so I can hear when that sort of stuff rolls through. There we go. Right, we're back in business. Tom Z Kloss just subscribed. Welcome. All right, now I can hear you when you subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to use the 25 to tighten it together. It's done. Cooling fan time. All right. So I'm going to be careful of the wires, not to damage them, especially the heater wire, the thermistor. The thermistors are very delicate, and yeah, anything nichrome is very, very brittle. So we've got our cooling fans. And we need an M3 by 18. Check this bad boy back in there. M3 by 18. Should be these ones, so... Oh, 6 of them. 6 M3 by 18s. Michael Marino, have I ever tried putting a heat shield on the bottom of the bed? Set up precious plastic system in your area. Make money doing the government's job for them. Yeah, definitely don't have time to do that, but yeah, a lot of good proper beds have silicon insulator that helps direct the heat upwards. That's not uncommon, that's quite an old idea. But yeah, like some of the new beds don't do that. But some of them heat up so fast, like the Prusa one heats up super fast. I wouldn't need that. I do want to look into recycling plastic at some stage, but again, I don't know where I'm going to find the time. Okay. Sweet. Oh, Eddie, thank you so much, dude. Thank you for doing a stream, always a good time. Pleasure. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Someone just mentioned Loctite in the chat. No, and I'll explain why. So thread locker, traditionally, if you're a machinist, it's fantastic for joining metal parts together so the screws don't come out. Bald engineer, love your videos, learn a few simplified 3D tricks, request more mesh mixer basics. Good point, actually. I haven't done mesh mixer basics for a while. I need to get back into that. But going back to Loctite, the different types of formulations, some of them actually damage plastic. The ones people often use for metal will actually destroy plastic and make it brittle. So they do have new formulations for plastic, but realistically, these parts don't have a huge amount of load on them, and the plastic itself almost forms like a nylock nut sort of situation where the threads are tight. But even when it's tapping into the metal washers, I don't want to put Loctite on it because it's going to might possibly flow onto the plastic parts and destroy them. I've seen polycarbonate be just turned into acrylic basically because of Loctite. But yeah, I'm not too worried. I haven't really had these machines fall apart on me. Some parts, yes. Some part in the movement area you might want Loctite, but this is pretty okay. Okay, so we're going to get this, and I'm going to put it like that, and then we're going to run this through here because there's a little channel for it. So everything's been accounted for. I do like the design of this. Like the wiring paths are all pre-planned. So we've got our Noctua. And it does have a direction, so you want the sticker to face inwards because you want the air to be blowing onto your heat break. And then put that here, and then tighten up those 4 screws. Michael Marino, time is the only real currency. Oh yes, oh my god, yes. It's ridiculous how as you get older, time becomes so valuable, and it's unbelievable how fast it goes. I don't know where 2017 went. It just smashed past, and you look at it like, yes, 365 days. It's just unbelievable how fast it goes. 12 months. So I am very mindful of that, and I try to make at least each day have some kind of relaxation or personal development aspect to it. I read a lot of books, like I'm reading one called The Introvert Entrepreneur right now, which speaks to me. It's a book made for me, It's all about how, introverts often work for themselves because they don't like dealing with office environments and, meetings and things. But then you have to be an entrepreneur. You have to do stuff like this, stream to, I don't know how many of you guys are watching, like 195 people. I used to struggle to stand up in front of class to talk to a class of 20 kids. So yeah, I try to make every day at least have some aspect of that, so I can look back and be like, okay, I achieved these other things beyond my regular job. Joseph mentioned using Loctite on frame parts. Yeah, alright, I will look into it in future, but if it's metal on metal, I'm okay with using my thread locker that I have, but not on anything plastic. There is plastic Loctites, but I do not have them. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. So M3 by 18. One of them is a little bit long, doesn't need to be as long as it is. Tighten all screws diagonally, yeah, that's right, it's fine. Yeah, you had to really stuff that up to make this fan stop working. Noctuas are pretty bulletproof. Yeah, of course there's white noise in the background. I'm using a microphone with the gain turned way up because people couldn't hear me. It's a working setup. Old Salty RC headed off. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. That 3D print guy, what do I think of the Snapmaker laser issue? I might have to explain it to people. But essentially, Snapmaker shipped lasers with a lower wattage than they were promising in the campaign, which means they'll have less power to do things. I'll be honest, I think lasers on those machines are just extremely negligent. I think that the companies don't care if kids are going to get lasers in their eyes because there's no safety precautions, there's no enclosure. I've worked with systems with everything properly covered and still people can get injured. So I think a lower power in that aspect is actually probably good because they can't hurt themselves as much, but it's still misleading, definitely. I don't know. Okay. Okay, now we'll get this fan in place. So this is our blower, which is what we use to cool the parts down quickly. So as you're printing PLA, you need to have a fan pointing at the part as it's printing. Otherwise, you're going to get drooping and all sorts of things. Is this working? What am I doing wrong? Why aren't you tightening? It's always these stupid hexagonal ones. Always the hexagonal ones. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my god. Why not? Why not? Alright, I'm gonna have to force it in with another screw. Then back the screw out and then put it in to seat it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using a small screw to tighten into this nut all the way down into the plastic. And then I'm going to take the screw out and then get my fan and my longer screw, and now it should seat nicely into that nut instead of me just kind of trying to hold it into place jankily. Okay, that looks good to me. Right, and we've got a square nut there, but it's a bit too low. Left-hand screwdriver. You know they actually exist? Oh, come on. That nut has slid down a little bit. Oh, that's frustrating. That is so frustrating. Alright. I think I just got it. Let's see. Right. I think that's good. The show must go on. Alright. No power tools working too hard. I don't know how Tom can use like a cordless screwdriver on all these plastic parts. You'd cause so much damage. Okay. I know you're joking, but left-hand screws do exist. The end of cordless drills have a left-handed threaded screw, and it's a real stuffer, like mind fuck to deal with it, because it like you're screwing what you think is to you know, lefty, righty tighty, lefty loosey, but it's actually like lefty tighty, righty loosey. It's really confusing. All right, we've got the pin to probe. Time for that. All right, I'm gonna move this out of the way because I don't want to damage the heat bed. Shift this across. So much screwing and nuts. Making 3D printers is like extremely saucy. All right. Pin to probe. So to get this sorted, we have the probe. We'll need an M3 by 10, which would be one of these. And move this out of the way. And an M3 square nut here. Just make sure this is all okay. I haven't forgotten anything. Nope. It's fine. I'll insert the PTP later. And then we need probe is a sensitive device. Handle it with care during assembly. Yep, will do. Tom is German, so he knows how to automatically knows how much torque, how to sense torque with his hands. Yeah, no, I mean using a power screwdriver is actually pretty impressive. Okay, mounting the pinned up probe. We're going to start with the front print fan wire. which would be this. Undo this. All right. And then this routes down and under this little hook there for it. Then we're going to get our Pro, and this mounts down through here. And we'll do a little bit of a wiring, wire strain relief thing there. Oh, it wants to go underneath, that's okay. We can do the strain relief underneath, that's fine. Strain relief it underneath. There we go. Okay, Michael's off, welcome. Thanks for coming, man, appreciate it. Yeah, the time zones are always a bit nasty. Yeah, they say left-handed people are like more creative. I don't know. I think we're definitely more like, we struggle with writing. I struggle with writing hugely. I don't know, just usually a bit different. Okay, so that's in, and then we need the screw and the nut. So I'm gonna get this in here, and the nut sits in there. Line it up. And then put the nut screw back in, and I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit. Just like that. Alright, that'll do for now. That needs to be set properly. It's not set properly right now. That's how it is. Okay, we're going to need to get our frame back up. So I'm going to move some of this out of the way. Put it in here. Okay, that's good. I can go here too. Right. Did I forget something? No. Never mind. Alright, I'll come back to that. Lord Garth waiting for Joe to show up. He's not able to make this stream, which is why his brother's in, which is very appreciated. Although, I don't know, I don't think anything's going to go horribly wrong, let's be honest. Okay, let's grab the frame. Okay, here we go. So we'll change the angle back up a little bit. Okay, you can see my face again a little bit better. Oh, yeah, go a little bit lower. There you go. There you go. Now you should be able to see some of it. Tilt it down a little bit. Yeah, it's the same as it was before, whatever. Oh dear. It's okay. Yeah, Joseph does need to sleep sometimes, despite popular belief. Okay. Extruder cable preparation. So we're going to put the extruder on the Y carriage as per the first picture. So I might actually have to fire up the manual for this because it's quite a small photo. So just grab the manual. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to zap myself in a frame that doesn't even have a power supply attached, let's be honest. That's the wrong handbook. Where's the assembly manual? Assembly manual. Port assembly, there we go. All right. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to go through it lists the E-axis assembly as moderate difficulty. So I can't see the chat at the moment, sorry, just while I'm getting this up and running. Okay. Okay, so place the extruder on the Y carriage as in the first picture. So the first picture shows it just kind of lying there. All right then. Okay, so we've got our cables off to this side, and the other one's off to this side. And we've got to unbundle these, so let's cut that gently without cutting any wires. Okay, unbundle this one and run it this direction. Okay. Dave C, am I using OBS Studio? Yes, I am. It's not the best, but it does work. If you're getting lagging, I'm not sure what might be causing that. It does say health is good, so I'm not sure what might be causing any lagging. Okay, next. You need to run the wires above the thing, apparently. So these go up through here. So this is definitely where you're going to pay attention to the manual, because this is a strange way of putting wires together. But hopefully it's the proper way, because it's the most up-to-date manual. Double check the steps, that's fine. And then these ones run up the other side. I love that sheathed cable on the Noctua fan. It's really nice. Okay, looks fine. Cables from the hot end will be placed under the lower smoothest rod. We will arrange them later. Okay. Mounting the extruder. So we need to, let me go back so I can see you. Right, so we need the N3x40, N3x30, and N3x18. So 18, 40, 30. 3 different size screws. And they are going to go into the back here and into our extruder. So let's grab this. Put the 3mm nylon in the hole first to pain to get in later. Okay, let me have a quick look here. Oh, okay. Nylon filament. So that goes into the slot. Okay, I see what you mean. So this is the nylon. The table is wobbling. This is a terrible, terrible table. And it wobbles a lot. Okay. So we're going to pick this up, delicately move it into place. Okay, find the holes for it. Alright, that's the right height. Oh, careful with my little sensor. Okay, and which one's which? So M3, put the longest one in first, so that's M3 by 40, it's up the top. Okay, and that goes into the motor. Sweet. Make sure I'm not doing anything horribly wrong because you guys will be screaming at me. Instructions are for the weak. Oh no, not when it comes to assembling Prusa machines. Instructions are for the, if you don't follow them, Joseph will hunt you down. Alright, that's going in good too. That's the nylon just flopping around, so I'll move that out of the way. And this one. What's my view on the stereotype that everything in Australia tries to kill or eat you? Well, a lot of things do, let's be honest, but a lot of things don't. I don't know if you can hear the microphone because it is picking up a lot of noise, like that screeching noise outside. That's the sulphur-crested cockatoo, which are gorgeous birds, big white fluffy things that destroy everything they touch because it's fun for them to rip apart things. So they'll come to your balcony and like pull apart everything on the balcony. But yeah, the parrots here are lovely. But there is snakes and things, but you don't really see them. They keep to themselves. You're gonna be pretty unlucky or dumb to get bitten by a snake, honestly. Check the X belt alignment before you close it with the back plate. Tom forgot. Right. Well, that looks okay. But yeah, we'll check it shortly. Right. So that seems to be pretty good. I'm just going to tighten these up. Make sure the cables aren't crushed. No, no. Okay. Guide the cables through the slots. That one at the top isn't through the slot. Let's loosen them up a little bit and guide it a little bit better, I think. Better to do it right than not. Okay, push this down, then through that slot. Let's get it in. Okay, I'm gonna need my little helper. Where is it? No, let's use this. To poke it in. Come on. This is why wiring sucks. So fiddly. Yeah, screwdriver will do it. Alright, that's the closest I can get it. That's pretty good. Okay, moving on. Oh, we're talking about horror stories. Yeah, you gotta be careful with spiders. Some of them you won't even know you've been bitten. But yeah, like you gotta really piss them off. Like the redbacks and that, they're really timid. Okay, X carriage back. So this one, I do not have the back plate on yet. Nathan Palmer just subscribed. Welcome. Okay, so now we're going to get wait, what does it need? M3 by 40 and M3 by 10. These two. And a little nut. I ate a spider once. Cool story. Okay. So the carriage back has the M3 by 10 in here. That's quite a tight hole actually. Hey, Bob Young from Iowa, welcome. And Zetmaster, thanks for subscribing, man. Appreciate it. Okay. So this looks like it just goes through and has a nut which tightens into it. Okay, let's tighten that up. Nice part with OBS, deleted comments are still readable. Yeah, look, that's kind of partly why I put it onto a second channel too. The thing is, like, this is more off the cuff. Like, I'm not too worried to say, like, fuck, because it's not really, I'm not worried about monetizing or maintaining a family-friendly vibe on this one. This is off the cuff. What I do normally, but I just want to share it with you guys. So that's why I'm more than happy to have the comments up there. Irrelevant 303, welcome. But yeah, that's why I separated the two channels, because yeah, just you get a bit stifled, I'll be honest, in the current YouTube ecosystem. Okay, so the only purpose of this little screw is to tighten that into place and then remove it. Excellent. Juicebox Airsoft has reviewing many of the 3D printers competing in the race at the bottom negatively affected your impression on the 3D printing market. Yeah, it has, I'll be honest. 2017, we saw a lot of printers that were basically the same thing. Like the CR10 kind of started it, and the CR10 is fantastic, but then we saw so many clones of the CR10 because they were basically a race to get, you know, the same market share, but cheaper. And it all sort of accumulated with my experience with the Flying Bear Tornado, which was just awful for my experience. And like, people are saying it's better now, whatever. I review what I'm sent, and if I'm sent rubbish, that's the review you get. So yeah, it has been a bit of a tough thing to maintain positivity. But that's why I like machines like this, because they're different. Like, Joseph didn't just make a slightly cheaper machine, he made a very different machine. And it's actually worthwhile upgrading to almost. Okay, so this goes in like that. Perfect. Can I even monetize the videos yet? No, I can't. And I don't really intend to. Basically, at this point, you know, if you guys want to support the streams, the donation link is there in the description. It's very much appreciated. It all goes back into back into technology to support better content. But this is really just to chill out. It's more off the cuff. Not too worried about, you know, pushing Patreon and all that here. Although I do need to update Patreon a little bit. So preparing the x-axis block, that's like this. All right. Ignore my chan. Do I still produce music? I do. I have a SoundCloud that I put stuff up to now and then. It's completely a hobby. I don't master anything. And yeah, I do still do it, but it's never going to be anything commercial. Okay, so we've got our sensor cable. And we're going to connect it up. So connect it carefully to the filament sensor. It has two different sides. The side with the safety pin must be on the left. Okay. So that's fine. We've got white at the top. That's pretty clear. Move this down out of the way. Screw it. There we go. Zepmaster, are the tarantulas in Australia? Tarantulas in Australia? I don't know. I don't really believe so. We've got some big spiders. I've never seen a tarantula. A lot of our wildlife is actually quite small. It's just very venomous. Okay, so that goes through here, and then we route the wire carefully into that slot. So sorry you guys can't really see what I'm doing. I'm basically running this wire through to give it some strain relief. Like so. Oh dear. Sorry if this is a bit boring, guys. This is definitely the most tedious section of the manual. Okay, that's fine. The instructions are very thorough though. Okay, so push the cables from the extruder thoroughly through the X carriage back. So I've got our back piece here, and we've got these wires. So I'm going to push these and this one through the back. Yeah. I think in this case the wiring is a pain, but it gives a cleaner look. I just hope I don't have to do anything to it to how it goes over the top. I just don't have to I don't have to do any maintenance to it. Okay, and then these ones go through, so that's the fan. And our little sensor. Alright JT, no worries man, thanks for coming. This will be archived obviously, but hopefully we'll get pretty far. I'll probably do a part 3 though, to be honest. I don't have the stamina of Tom. Okay, and it's going to run this through. Is that the right one? How does it go through? Oh, it goes through this part. Okay. So cables from the hot end and filament sensor do not go through the back. That's fine. Okay, and we'll pull this closer. Stay there. Go there. Alright guys, thanks if you're heading off to bed. I completely understand. Australian time zone is pretty unusual for most of the world. Okay, that looks good. Amy Palmer, thanks for subscribing. Okay, I put the this nylon does not go through that section, so I'm actually going to pull the nylon out for now. It's getting in the way. Okay, looks good to me. Okay, so that looks quite good. I've got the strain relief set up correctly on all these cables. Check the cables are not pinched. They are indeed not pinched. They're running through very nicely. Both sides, yes, 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 yes. Right, and we're going to get an M3 by 10 and tighten it up. Where is that one? Start with the middle to ensure proper alignment. Okay. Okay. Someone was asking if there's any benefits to living in Australia. There is. Namely, we have free healthcare, which is very nice. So basically, you pay for your ambulance, or not always, depending on the state, but you can basically go to any hospital, any public hospital, and just be looked after free of charge, which is nice. It's safe as well. You know, we don't have any crime in this area. The culture is very chill. You know, you get the stereotypical bogans for sure. Hey Chris, thanks so much for the $6. Exclamation mark. But you know, most people are really chill and quite easygoing, which is nice. The cities are a bit different. The cities are, you know, changing, which is why I got out of them. They're just a bit, you know, becoming very expensive. But where we are here, like, you know, we're walking distance to the beach. It's one of the best beaches on the coast. We are, you know, a short walk to the shops, short walk to, you know, all sorts of amenities. Short train trip back into the city. It's just really nice. Nice sort of chill lifestyle, very laid back. Tom just did this. He said your shock story was electrifying. That sounds like something Tom would say. Okay. Is there a nut in there? There should be a nut in there. Oh, it might have fallen out. we go. Hey JKL from the Philippines, welcome. There we go. Man, this is fiddly. You what, mate? Hey man, how's it going? Okay, so we've got those top two, and then we've got to get these bottom ones in. Okay, this is when it all starts to come together. Just loosen these off a little bit. Why is that not going in? Yeah, the IGUS bearings are designed to work with this special coated aluminium surface. It's like, I've got a slider from IGUS, and it's slightly rough, and what it does is the roughness rips off some of the coating of the IGUS bearing and then fills in those gaps, so it gets like a smooth plastic on plastic surface, even though it's anodized. Okay. Honestly, that'll do for now. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, finding the slot for the nylon filament, so we're going to put this in. Please use the longer one and don't trim any of them. So I just grabbed a random one, I might have grabbed the wrong one. Let's have a look. I grabbed the right one, excellent. Okay, so we've got a sharp tip here, and we're going to put it back in. Okay, so we'll put this guy back in. There we go. Perfect. Is that in the right slot? Yep. Sweet. Huh. Wait. I just put it in. Oh, it was in the right one before. 3D Gusner's all like, I told you to leave it in. It's alright. You can see that hole right there. Sorry. Get my pliers. Yeah, it is pretty tricky to get in. What the heck? I can see the hole right there. keep pulling it out of the hole. Alright. Jeez. Alright. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty sure it's in the right hole. I'm not going to rip it out. Okay, so be extremely careful as the pliers tend to slide. You can easily damage the wires. Check if the filament's seated properly. Gently pull it with your hand. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright. Oh my god. This is the worst part. Okay. Cable management using spiral wrap. So we've got these wires. I'm going to run them down the wire guide areas. And we've got some nice space for them. Why is it not in? What the heck? What the fuck? Why is this not... What? Did none of these screws even actually properly go in? What have I missed? Alright, I've stuffed up something. I think I've missed putting the square nuts in at some point. Well, at least some of the square nuts. Everyone's going to be in the chat being like, Angus is a twat. I can already see one of the square nuts isn't in there. Alright, where's my bits? Leave mine. Right, well that's probably why. There's bloody no square nuts in there. What step did I skip that told me to put square nuts in? Can someone let me know the step that actually says to put the square nuts in? I might have missed it last time. Apparently Tom got stuck here at this point as well, so... some of them might have fallen out. Yeah, that's true. Hey, MN3DP. Look, a streamer is actually following Joseph's instructions and stuff's still going wrong. Yep. That's definitely what's happening here. At least I can put this stupid nylon cable in properly now. Alright. Okay. We're back in business. So, this goes here. This goes here. And this goes there with my thing. Alright, there we go. Now they're going in. Yep, there we go. We're back in business. Now that feels properly seated. Welcome, you what, mate? Welcome to this. Thank you for subscribing. There we go. Now they're actually biting into it. So just feeling like they're biting into it, not doing anything. These bottom ones I'm not too sure on, but I'm just going to leave them for now. I'll come back to that. Okay. So route this down and around down to here. Okay, and we will, I want it to be all the way down in. Fine. There you go. Okay. I am going to put a zip tie around that temporarily. So I'm just going to put a zip tie here just for the moment, just to make sure none of it can move again, because it's so darn tedious to put it in place. The sensor loop has to be small as in the picture because Tom's hit the frame and Z calibration went wrong. Sensor loop? You mean... Oh, this loop? Okay. Well... Yeah. Okay, that's nice and small now. Step 32, third picture. What? I don't know if you can see that. Is that where the little nuts are meant to be? Or... Dropped my Allen key. Anyway, we're back in business, it's fine. So... the block. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Okay, now I'm going to get my spiral thing. Which one? Which spiral wrap is it? I don't even know if these both came with the printer at this stage. It looks like it should be this one. What's it on the other one? Yeah, it's this one. This is the power supply. Okay. Are the gummy bears included with Mark III, or did they just stop at Mark II? No, they're included with every Prusa machine. They are absolutely included. Okay, so I'm going to run this through. Hey, thanks Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Oh, the largest and longest one, yeah. Right, so we've got a couple of turns here. Alright. And then you push it up forwards and put 3 zip ties through. Alright, that's good. So I'll get rid of my temporary zip tie. Let me have a look online at 32 pick 3. Connecting the filament sensor. Use the cable from the previous step. Connect it carefully to the filament sensor. Has two different sides. Yep. Oh, I see what you mean. So that's too high. Got you. Alright, that's fine then. Let's cut this. Now we'll pull it down a little bit. Oh, hey Joe, thanks so much, man. Cheers for Tennessee, USA. Oh, sweet. I missed your message. I will go back to the donation screen. Doesn't last long enough. I need to update that. Good luck on the build and try not to electrocute yourself. I didn't electrocute myself, I shocked myself, and it's one of those things, like it's being taken a little bit out of proportion, I'll be honest. Oh, come on. But yeah, we figured out it was definitely the capacitors, so it was a normal thing. I'm going to have to pull this out. It's going to be really annoying. Carefully, carefully, carefully. Okay, that's fine. All right, we're good. Okay, and then we get this and push it all the way up. Like so. Cool. All right. Electrocuted generally implies you die. Like someone gets electrocuted, usually it's pretty bad. You what, mate? What camera mic setup am I using for the live streaming? I'm using a C920 webcam, and the microphone is a Rode N2 USB. I believe that's what it's called. I just picked it up yesterday. NT. Yeah, it's a Rode NT USB. I picked it up from JB Hi-Fi for pretty cheap. And it seems to be doing a decent job, although really this room should have a proper lavalier, which I will work on getting. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Got all my little zip ties. Now I'm going to run these through to tighten it into place. Okay, we're good. So bring this around here. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. And that one. It's pretty good to me. Alright. I hope to God there's nothing wrong with this wiring. Oh dear. Cool. Okay, so we've got hot end cables here, and from what I understand, we want to clip them up here underneath and then run them through. Okay, that's easy. So we're going to use our zip ties to hold it in place essentially, just underneath this little stalky thing. Stalky bit. I will be stopping the stream. Oh, it's 12 o'clock already. I'll probably be stopping shortly after this step because I can't do longer than like 3-hour streams. It's just crazy. But I will be coming back to it next week. It's going to be a three-week build, I think. The first zip tie orientation is important to hit the frame for homing. Set 40, pick 2. Oh, the first one's down there. Okay, that's fine. We can just move it down. Cool. Okay, and these ones, they're fine, they're facing downwards. Yep. Cool. Okay. This has been a surprisingly low amount of zip ties in this build. Okay, then we're going to get the spiral wrap around the whole thing. Oh my god, we did it. Actually got it done. Did take a while. Am I using Ethernet or Wi-Fi? I'm using Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi router is literally just in the other room. We have fiber to the premises fiber, which is, sorry, yeah, FTTP, or FTP, whatever. It's 40 megabit up and 100 down, so it's more than fast enough, but we did have to move to get it, because Australia is shocking for getting good internet. Absolutely terrible. Okay. Right, come on. All these electrocution jokes, I never live them down. It's my fault for being so honest. But hopefully my mistakes will help people. One of the scariest things in that video actually was all the comments of people who said they'd shocked themselves on like mains and stuff, building their printers and other things. That terrifies me. I mean, that's not okay. So if anything, hopefully that video sparked a discussion, about 3D printing electrical safety, because currently, like, so many people are so ignorant about it. You can't be ignorant about mains voltages. It's not okay. The last thing we need in the community is for some kid to get zapped putting together a kit because they wired up, the hot to the frame or something by accident by putting it onto ground because the ground's connected to the frame, and then they zap themselves. I mean, that's really dangerous, and we don't want that to happen. When a 3D printer is going to get rid of the ketchup and mustard cables and go with black sleeving? Yeah, when they, I don't know. It's easier to put these ones on, but yeah, a proper sleeving would be really nice. I might even change it, actually, in future. Because if you have to change a wire, it's really tedious. Alright, so step 43, mounting the filament sensor cover, part 1. So that would be this piece. And a little bit of PTFE as well. Tiny little PTFE tube. Here's a little baby PTFE. And M3 by 10 times 2. So we've got these two. And this tiny little 3D printed piece. Like, so small. Oh man. All printed on Joseph's print farm. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this PTFE. Let's move this over here. And put it through the top. Into the top, rather. Then we're going to get this. Is it swaged on both ends? Yes, it is swaged on both ends. So it's had the top part of it tapered, so it's easier for the filament to get into it. And then this goes on here, like that. Very nice little addition to help you feed filament. Tony L zapped or burned the house down because power delivery isn't good enough and you need to add a MOSFET to those. Talking about cheap printers, yes. Oh, Oscar got the Introvert Entrepreneur. Cool. It's a really good book, actually. I highly recommend it. If you are, like me, massively shy and struggle with the public aspects of running your own business, then yeah, I do recommend it, actually. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure most of you guys know, but I've actually started Instagram as well under just Angus Devison, and essentially, let's tip this up. What it is kind of the behind the scenes of running a business in this space. So it's got nothing to do with 3D printing. It's all about my mindset to running your own company, basically. Well, I am the company. I am the business. It's really very different and difficult and amazing at the same time. So I decided to start posting that on Instagram. So if you're looking to do the same thing, then I highly recommend checking it out, because that's where I sort of share my learnt wisdom, I suppose. Okay, looks pretty good. And then this little piece, locate the part where the idler is cut out, M3 screw is visible. Assemble the idler plug, ensure it fits properly. Interesting. I'm not sure what that piece actually does. Hey, people found my Instagram. Awesome. Okay. Now, mounting the fan nozzle. So we've got that piece. And we need the M3x10, this one. So essentially, what it does is just slide into place and then screw in. I think. Should be pretty easy. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Am I... Hey Eddie, I'm with you on beating Joe's build time. Yeah, so someone's asking about laser engraving. I do intend to do lasers at some point. Rightio. But not till I have a proper filtration system for the fumes, because that's the most dangerous aspect. Alright guys, well, so I think the extruder axis is done. Let me just move this out of the way. So I'm going to break this up into parts, mostly because I just can't stream for so long, unlike some of the other amazing YouTubers like Joe and Tom. But here we go. That's the axis completed. Very, very complicated. I'm hoping that nothing is done incorrectly in there. I'm hoping the wiring hasn't had any issues, because to get this diagnosed, if anything's wrong with it, would be an absolute friggin' nightmare. I mean, yeah, I hope it's all correct, but I'm trying to following the instructions as closely as possible. And it seems to be pretty good. And yeah, the instructions are really good. Apart from that one point where I missed the square nuts, I'm not sure how I missed that. I'm going to go back through and have a look. Maybe that can be made a little bit more clear. Maybe I was chatting and I just missed it. I'm not sure. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. I will be back at the same time next week to finish probably everything, because all we got left is the screen and the power supply. And I do apologize for dragging out so long, but I do have a lot of other projects to get done. And I really appreciate you joining me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for everyone else who donated. I really, really do appreciate it. It helps me buy more gear like this microphone, better lighting, better cameras, and slowly make this stream better and better and better. So yep, I'm gonna go have some lunch, and I look forward to seeing you again very shortly here on Maker's Muse. Catch you later, guys. Bye.